Picture this for a moment. Someone is sitting alone, late at night, maybe after a long day, maybe after a long week, and there's this strange quiet in the room. You know the kind that makes you think deeper than you want to. And in that quiet, something becomes painfully clear. Most people aren't hurt by enemies. No, most people are hurt by the wrong friends, the wrong partners, the wrong coworkers, the wrong voices they trusted. If you really look back at life, most damage came from people who were allowed too close, and as time goes on, that realization stops being dramatic. It just becomes truth. People start to see that life isn't shaped just by hard work or talent or discipline. It's shaped by who gets access to your mind and your emotions. The wrong person. Even one wrong person can slow down a future that should have moved faster. They can drain energy you needed. They can plant doubts you weren't supposed to carry. They can change your direction without ever raising their voice. And the thing is, none of this comes in the early years. Younger people don't see these patterns. It comes with age, with experience, with being burned one too many times by people who smiled, nodded, played friendly, and then quietly made life heavier. The older someone gets, the more obvious it becomes that trusting the wrong people has consequences that last years, sometimes decades. So, this conversation isn't about being suspicious. It's not about pushing people away. It's about understanding the types of people who should never be trusted with your inner world, and not because they're bad, but because their presence slowly pulls life in the wrong direction. Emotionally, mentally, socially, financially, there are certain behaviors, certain traits that reveal everything someone needs to know about whether a person is safe to let in, and when those signs show up, they should never be ignored. One of the clearest signs shows up in the smallest moments, when someone lies about something tiny, and it might not seem like much. A little twist of the story, a small shift in details, a harmless adjustment. But that's exactly the problem. Someone who is comfortable lying when it doesn't matter will lie when it does. A small lie isn't about the lie itself, it's about the instinct. When a person bends the truth easily, it means truth isn't a principle for them, it's an option. And if truth is optional for them, trust becomes impossible for you, because trust doesn't break from one big betrayal. It breaks from the pattern hidden in the small ones. Another type of person to avoid is the one who drains energy without even trying. You know the type, the person who sighs before every sentence, who points out what could go wrong before acknowledging what could go right, who turns every idea into a warning, every moment into a complaint. Being around them feels like carrying weight on your shoulders you didn't ask for. And even if you're strong, even if you're disciplined, that weight builds. It slows ambition. It makes life duller, heavier. Energy is one of the most valuable resources a person has, and someone who drains it will eventually drain enthusiasm, vision, creativity, hope. Trusting someone like that with your time is like pouring water into a bucket with holes. The effort never lasts. Then there's the person who never takes responsibility. This one is subtle but incredibly dangerous. Something goes wrong, and suddenly it's someone else's fault. A mistake is made, and they disappear from the conversation. They rewrite the story in a way that protects themselves, and over time, that pattern becomes incredibly clear. Responsibility scares them. Accountability threatens them. And when someone refuses to take responsibility, they create chaos that others must fix. They leave emotional messes, financial messes, social messes, and then act surprised when things fall apart. Someone who avoids responsibility cannot be trusted, because when pressure rises, they will always choose self-protection over honesty. They will choose blame over truth then. There's a type of person many people learn to avoid only after getting deeply frustrated. The one who wants recognition without doing the work. This person shows up when the spotlight is on, disappears when the real effort begins. They love titles, attention, status, importance, but not the long nights, not the sacrifice, not the grind. They crave the appearance of greatness instead of the reality of contribution. And that becomes dangerous because they position themselves as valuable while quietly making everyone else carry the weight. They take credit, they avoid responsibility, and they attach themselves to other people as achievements, like vines around a tree. If someone loves the reward more than the responsibility, they cannot be trusted with partnership, teamwork, or shared goals. And then, maybe the most quietly destructive of all, the person who doesn't believe in your direction. Not openly, not loudly, but in small ways. You share an idea, and they laugh softly. You talk about a dream, and they tilt their head with doubt. You express excitement, and they remind you of the risks. And the scary part is, they don't have to openly discourage you. Their disbelief shows in the tone of their voice, in the look on their face, in the questions they ask. Doubt doesn't need volume to be effective. It only needs access. And when someone's doubt gets inside your mind, hesitation replaces confidence. This kind of person cannot be trusted because disbelief is contagious, and someone who doesn't believe in your future will slowly disconnect you from it. So the lesson, the deeper truth underneath all of this, is that trust should not be given based on familiarity or time or history. Trust should be given based on alignment, consistency, honesty, and energy. With age, people learn that not everyone deserves access to their mind. Not everyone deserves access to their emotions. Not everyone should be allowed close enough to influence the direction of their life. Peace becomes valuable. Energy becomes limited, vision becomes clearer, and protecting those things becomes a quiet form of wisdom. Life isn't about trusting everyone. Life is about trusting carefully, because the right people elevate your future, the wrong people quietly dismantle it. Choose wisely, even if that choice requires walking alone for a while. Sometimes solitude protects more than company ever could.